So last week's video, I showed you an unboxing and installation of the National Geographic 10W submersible heater. So this week is kind of a continuation on from that, and I'm going to be doing a review and kind of to answer questions that you may have if you were wanting to pick up this heater. So just keep watching. I heard a lot on the internet that 1 gallon bowls couldn't be heated with small heaters and that it wouldn't work, but I have not had any fluctuations with this. The most I've ever had is maybe plus or minus 1 degree, which is what this does say it has. It does a very good job of turning on and off automatically, so I don't have to worry about it overheating. The automatic shut-off feature does work, and it does not have the crazy temperature fluctuations that I see with some of the other heaters that I talked about in my other video. One thing I was worried about when I first got this heater was that it would be too hot to the touch. Now, I understand that it's an aquarium heater. It shouldn't get too hot that your fish can't touch it, but I love them, so I was obviously worried about that. So when I first got it, I would always touch the water and I would touch the heater to make sure it wasn't too hot for him. And the heater only gets a little bit warm. And as far as the water feeling warm, don't be afraid if the water feels a little bit warm, because depending on your finger temperature will completely alter how the water feels. So if you're using a heater, it's really important that you have a thermometer, because you won't be able to use your finger as an accurate tester for whether the water is too hot for your fish. Now, for further questions about how I feel that it looks and if it's aesthetically pleasing, if I didn't put it in the ornaments a strategic way to intentionally hide it, then I suppose it would be a little bit distracting, because it is such a big black thing. Like, it's basically goes from here all the way down to where the rocks start. So it is larger for a 1 gallon tank. If you had like a 2.5 or a 3 gallon, then this wouldn't be a problem at all. But if you're putting it into a small one like I am, then it's not an eyesore if you put ornaments specifically in front of it. Now, another thing that I wanted to update on is whether or not I had seen any changes in Draco's behavior or just him overall. And the answer to that question would be yes, I do. He is a very interesting colored fish. When I first got him, he was very blue. He has bright blue body, and his fins are bright orange. And when I got him at the store, when he was under all these pretty lights, those colors were really, really prominent. But when I brought him home into average lighting, his body looked more brown. I was kind of wondering why his colors weren't as vibrant. It is true that when your fish is cold, or any other thing that may be making your fish uncomfortable, is that their colors will fade. So as soon as I put the heater in, it wasn't even a day, and I saw that the blue scales of his body were getting more blue, and then they caught the light more. And also his fins became brighter, and the dark blue and the orange contrast was more evident. So as far as his behavior has also changed. He was always one of my most active fish, but there would still be times where he would like to, hide in a plant or sleep under his little bridge that he had it at the time. And when I added the heater, he was still doing that, but after a couple of days, he was a pretty active fish, even more so than he already was. Lastly, about his behavior is, as you can see in the corner over here, he has a little bubble nest. He didn't blow a bubble nest before. I thought it was just because he maybe was a new fish, wasn't comfortable, but the second that I brought out the heater, it was the next morning. I put it in around 7:00 p.m. on the day that I filmed the video, and when I got up the next morning, probably at around like 10 maybe, he had a bubble nest there, and he's had one constantly since. And the second I changed the water, it's back by the end of the day. Now, a good thing about having a heater, and one reason that if you didn't already get from his behavioral updates that I was telling you about, is that the warmer the water, the harder it is for the parasites to live. So your betta obviously has a strengthened immune system with the heater, but also the things that could make him sick and affect his immune system, whatever level is at, it's harder for them to live and latch on. So overall, it makes your fish healthier and probably happier. So I guess the end of the story is that you guys are really here for is, does it work? Which, of course it does. It keeps the temperature good and he heats the tank up to a constant 80 degrees. So after the question of does it work, the question is, does it really make a difference? As I could say, his color changed, he started blowing bubble nests, and he's much more active. So I would definitely say that heating up your tank definitely makes your fish happier. And so the last question is, would I repurchase it? So the answer to that question is yes, I would definitely recommend it, and I would definitely purchase it again. Now, I've only had it a week, so if it has only the lifespan of a month, I don't have that knowledge to base it off of. This is just my initial opinion. If something happens, obviously I'll do an update for you guys so you'll know, but so far it's still working perfectly for me. While I wanted to get this heater and test it out before I found out that it didn't work, I didn't want to buy all three, so I got it for him. Once I learned that it does work, I went and got 2 more for my other fish. So now I have 3 heaters. But yeah, so this, around 20 bucks each. Happy fish. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are ever interested in getting this heater, I hope that this information was very helpful and that it helped you make a decision whether you want to get your heater or not. If you aren't sure about this heater because you can't maybe get it, but you wanted to know whether a heater would work or whether you should get a heater, then I hope this information showed you the best decision for you and for your fish. Again, a link for my last video will be in the description as well if you hadn't checked that out. And make sure you subscribe if you liked this video and if you found it helpful and you'd really like to see more like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. His temperature is at 81. Or not 81. I'm not good at Fahrenheit. Okay.